This is one of those topics where you will get blacklisted and targeted immediately if you try to spread it online or talk about it. But you guys know me. I'm on enough lists already. I don't care. So let's get into ritual inversion. Because if you still think that the evil that exists in the world, and I'm talking the desecration, the assault of infants, the post-mortem desecration, if you think that's random, I've got some news for you. This is just one of about 130 blacklisted topics that I speak about in Unpostable, but it's one of the most essential to understand, because this is why the world is the way it is. Nothing is random. So ritual inversion. Ritual inversion is the intentional desecration or energetic corruption of a divine coded soul's original blueprint, especially before they remember who they are. It is used by systems of control to invert the soul's polarity, sever their source connection, and redirect their path toward collapse, distortion, or subservience. So what makes it ritual? Not all abuse is ritual. Ritual inversion implies conscious timing, symbolic manipulation, and system-aligned outcomes. It often includes energetic marking during spiritual thresholds, such as age 7, 9, 13, 17, etc. Soul fragmentation as a result of planned trauma, sexual, psychic, or emotional violation designed to reverse the soul's gifts. Occult timing, such as solstices, bloodlines, planetary alignment. And object or location-based inversion with mirrors, ropes, altars, beds, basements, bathtubs, etc. So to state the obvious, it's a control grid, it's a control system. They don't want people waking up. They don't want people ascending. They want them looped in pain and suffering for their loosh harvesting. So now that we have that out of the way, what's the purpose? To collapse the highest coded souls before they activate, to confuse the soul's magnetism so they attract distortion instead of alignment, to lock timelines of delay, illness, false love, mimic partnerships, twin flames, inverted, to silence the voice, shrink the body, and sever access to divine memory, and to turn sacred power into marketable suffering or sexualization. The outcomes of these targeted assaults: trauma, violations, fragmentation of your soul, reverse polarity, the masculine and feminine distortion, shame frequency overlays, hypersexuality or complete shutdown, mirror flipping of gifts, such as a seer becoming a scapegoat, a healer becoming an addict, an attraction to abusers, bypassers, and mimic twins. Signs the soul has been ritually inverted: sudden fear of visibility, voice, or embodiment, repressed memories with fragmented sensations, shame or confusion around pleasure or spiritual power, seductive or submissive identity overlays that feel unnatural, cycles of collapse before major success, union, or exposure, unexplainable pull toward their own abusers or betrayers, and a constant push-pull between spiritual awakening and soul exhaustion. So why is it used? To block sacred unions and divine convergence, suppress Christ and Magdalene-coded bloodlines, feed energy into inversion loops, mimic timelines, or false grids, prevent sovereignty by looping souls in recovery instead of remembrance. This tactic is most often used on high-ranking divine souls, especially those meant to birth new systems, awaken others, or collapse false power structures. Its presence in your life is not a sign of failure, but of your original impact. The very fact, if it was used against you, confirms who you are. I tell people all the time, especially my bookings, my clients, you were targeted because of how powerful you are. You don't think the system can see exactly what kind of soul coding you have the second that you're born? They make everything happen. It didn't happen by karma. It didn't happen because you had to go through a lesson. It happened because the system wanted you to victimize and fracture your timeline. Because if you are constantly grieving who you could have been or looped in a false grid, you'll never wake up to who you're actually supposed to become. And I'm here to tell you, it wasn't your fault. I have heard and seen some of the most horrific things, and you wonder why it's allowed to happen. Because the system took free will planet and completely inverted everything. Our technology, our contracts, they don't care about you or me. You think therapists are to actually heal you? You think pharmaceuticals are to actually mend your body? Nothing is here for us. You have to save yourself. You have to wake up.